It wasn't because I was speaking at a conference for Amazon, but it was the feeling of being able to impact so many lives and not just any kind of lives, but women that I can relate to that have all, I shouldn't say all because, probably 0.0001% of the women who are interested in big tech companies such as the FAANG have reached out to me. They are all struggling with such a big lack of confidence, not knowing if they would ever even land an interview with company like Amazon and Google, which I'm getting a whole lot, usually 90% Amazon and 10% Google and other FANG employers. The second thing is that so many of them have failed the interview and they don't know why. And the third reason is that after they have worked so hard, even hire coaches to land an interview, to fail their interview, they also felt a sense of biases during the interview process. I'm not saying that this is an Amazon thing. I'm saying all employers, okay? If you guys have not checked it out yet, I highly, highly encourage you to check out the AWS Women in Tech Community Edition. The link to join is everything is, I believe, is downloadable, but you can watch and rewatch, and you can find a lot of that link on my LinkedIn page, my most recent post, which is last night when the event started. Okay. Make sure you don't miss that out because it was so amazing hearing from the head of AWS solution architect. Do you guys know what that means? It's hard to even hire a mid-level engineer of any kind or anything for big tech companies, but to have a full room of director level and basically leaders in like Amazon specifically, it blew my mind off. Okay, so that's it. I'm going to cut it off right there. You can hear it. That is so fresh in my mind. Right, look at my eyes. Look at my eyes. People are wondering, Holly, maybe you should try some powder on your eyes. I'm like, no, no, because I like to be authentic. I want my viewers to come and hang out with me because you like my rawness and my authenticity. I want employers to look at me if they want to sponsor my work or be a speaker for them to appreciate what I'm bringing on the table for a group of ladies. Okay. Alrighty. Also, one of you guys, no name Diana, you were asking me why I haven't been around for the last 2 Fridays. Allow me to explain to you, girl, because I have been so sick for nearly 2 months. Look, I'm speaking, right? In fact, during the Women in Tech event, when it comes to our introduction, we actually pre-record that about several weeks ago, 3 weeks-ish ago. I was so nervous because I was afraid that I would start coughing and choking. What I've done, they don't know this, but I had my environment. I built an environment in front of me, which you should too when you're interviewing, where you're comfortable. I had my tea, my coffee, my ginger water. It calms down your throat, by the way, when you're coughing or running a fever. My medication, my inhaler. I literally had everything in front of me. And if you watch my talk of how to land, I'm the only person who talk about how to land a FANG interview for that talk. You can tell that going into 15 minutes, my voice was starting to fade away, and that was why. Okay. It takes a lot for me to cancel anything at all, but especially the live stream, because I know that a lot of the people are relying on me for real time answer, which is why this is pay member mode that is on. It helps support my work. This is my business. I quit my full time job, y'all. I quit my high paying job at Facebook because I'm so passionate in helping all the diversity professional in the world, and I don't have time to do that if I'm working a full-time job somewhere else. And I feel like after being in the industry for 20 plus years, it's time for me to give back to the community. So if we're meeting for the very first time, my name is Holly Lee. I am the founder and CEO of my own career coaching business, which is the VIP coaching. I do live stream twice a week, every single week, which is Tuesday afternoon for all of the US folks, and Friday morning for all of my EMEA. I'm sorry, APAC, or those who lives in Japan or Singapore, in China. I know none of these time really work for you and you try your best to show up. Listen, guys, if I could have a live stream, if I can pick the time that I want, I would say 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. my time because I'm a night owl. I can stay, my brain's on fire at night, but unfortunately, I have my son with me. And for those of you who've been around for a while, I don't really feel like getting toys thrown in my face. Yeah. And I want to be able to focus and answer your questions. And I won't be able to do that as long as he is home with me. And no, he does not. Even if he sleep and he realized that I'm not next to him, he'll just come find me and take over this microphone, which is not cool. Okay. All right. I do have a quick agenda for you. I want to talk a little bit about what happens if you don't know the answer, don't have the answer, or go through a brain freeze during your on site interview. It could be on site or it could be phone interview, any kind of interview, but let's focus on the virtual loop, not just Amazon, but with any employer. Okay. I made a post on LinkedIn last week. By a show of hand, or give me a thumbs up and just let me know that you have read it. It is called What Happens If I Don't Have the Answer? Or How Do You Answer Questions? Okay. Um, First, I should say that I personally have interviewed over thousands of people because my career is in recruiting. Okay. In recruiting, recruiting leadership, I've helped other recruiting leaders build their own team. I've helped business stakeholder, which is director level or VP of engineering, business account management, program, TPM, you name it, user design. So I've helped a lot of those team. I've trained a lot of those team in the last, I would say, more heavy 8+ years with the FAANG companies. And that's why I'm sharing everything with you. So do take it as a grain of salt. There's nothing that I'm sharing that isn't already known. Okay. Please don't ask me any confidential information about Amazon. I cannot be giving that to you. You guys know better. Okay. First, let's talk about what not to do. Guys, here's why I'm sharing this with you. Not that I am stalking other creators. I don't watch other YouTubers. I don't read what they wrote. I also don't look at their video or live stream or anything like that. I like to stay in my own lane. If you notice, my style is very authentic and original. Even the star method. I didn't invent the star method, but in my VIP coaching, I transform the whole thing into the Holly Lee way, and that's what's been working for a lot of the folks. Okay. So, just an FYI, the first thing I wanted to talk about is asking the interviewers if you can write down every single question during your on site interview. Let's pause for 1 second here. If you all think that is okay, please give me a thumbs up. Okay. Don't give me a thumbs down, by the way. The algorithm don't like that. Just I'm only interested in thumbs up and coffee in this channel and heart emoji or star. Okay. If you think that asking the interviewers if you could write down all the questions, say yes or say no, I don't think that's a good idea. Okay, I'd like to hear your thought. Let me tell you this. Just because it's a virtual loop does not give you the right what is called cheating. Yes, it's called cheating. Imagine yourself going to a physical office, interviewing, let's just say for the sake of this channel, that a lot of folks are interested in Amazon. Let's talk about Amazon, for example, okay? If you're in front of someone, you are the interviewer. And if someone look at their notes and say, "Can I write down every single question?" Right there, you're taking at least 10 minutes of their times, right? Remember, and it comes with follow-up questions. So you're taking away 15 minutes just so that you can write down every single question. I will not recommend for you to do that unless the question is around, can you share a time where you are where and how you use matrix and data to solve a problem impacting your customer, or how do you add value? If you need to get your thoughts together, yes, girl or boy, you have some time to kill. Ask the interviewer if you can write it down, but just free for thought here. Don't be that person. You want to show a lot of bias for action because at Amazon, they want to see you being able to think really quick and not being able to first make them repeat every single question they're asking you, and two, writing everything down. That right there is not a senior level professional. Okay. Maybe new grad or intern. Sure. You've never interviewed before. Maybe you could be forgiven, but senior level folks, even level 5, it's demonstrating that you need a lot of hand holding. Yeah. If you agree with me, please give me some coffee, smiley face, or thumbs up emoji. Let me know that makes sense to you. Okay. The second thing I wanted to talk to you of not doing is having all your notes for your virtual loop. Okay, having all your notes. I've heard there again. There's I'm sure a lot of fabulous coaches out there, a lot of fabulous creators out there, but to look at your note is a big no, No, and no. No, let me tell you why. Again, when you are trying to ask yourself or ask someone or find an answer, is it okay to do this? Is it okay to do that? First, be the judge of that. I want you to be the one who evaluate common sense. Excuse my language here for a second. Would you be okay if you're interviewing someone and they're looking through their notepad? Of course, it's going to be your notepad. Where would it be? A bunch of paper flying in front of them, right? Or worse, it's a virtual interview. You have dual monitor, four monitor, however you want to do it, but your eyes are moving. Would you hire someone that you know that are looking all over the places and not in front of you as eye contact? Will you do that? There are actually creators and strategists or interview coach who advise the viewer to use a notepad. Let me give you an example of what I mean. Okay, that's a big no. No, 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 no. Okay, I will never hire someone who looks through their notes. You can write notes. Sure, you could absolutely write notes and take notes to learn more about the interviewer. But if you're gonna write down every single thing, and I'm only saying this because I have personally helped a lot of folks in my VIP coaching cohort where they should have been a level 7, but they're offer a level 6. And these are folks that has anywhere between 15 to 25 years of experience. And when they're in my cohort, they're able to pass the cohort's mock interview section, including mine. I was blown away, and I kept on telling them and advising them, hey, you need to stay a little bit more concise. Are you reading your note? Because it sounds like you're very systematic. You're reading through your note. You want to show personality that you actually can walk the talk. Can you please repeat after me? Walk the talk and do not try to cheat. So let's just say that you don't have an answer and you make something up, and that does happen. I hate to say that, but 30% of the people whom I personally have sat through interview, we're talking about engineers, PM, engineering leaders, directors even. Yes, I will call you out. I can call you out very politely, of course, where I can tell even those who are in my cohort, they claim that they're program manager, but there's nothing program management of their entire background. Or they are senior solution architect, and I don't see anything that has to do with, they don't even know anything about cloud infrastructure. So you that means they have never been exposed in those technical environment before. And just because you're AWS practitioner or certifications does not make you a solution architect. People, it takes years and years of training in an actual job in order for you to gain that skill. Okay. Now, when it comes to tech position, you have to have the skills before you can get a job. Yeah. If it's non-tech, you don't need to, because you can get trained on the job, but you need to know how to deliver your message. Okay. So if you're going to make something up, they will call your bluff. I'm going to tell you this right now. 80% of the interviewers are not, because no one likes to have their time being wasted. They're not going to take their sweet time being polite because the clock is ticking and they have 10 more people to interview. They would basically keep on diving deep until you couldn't answer. And that, my friend, is how the interviewer will know that you don't have relevant experience. Okay. And let's talk a moment about what you should be doing. These are for everyone who are being stuck in an interview and don't have an answer. Okay. For those who just joined a little bit late, the first thing you should do is take a deep breath, just 5 seconds. 5 seconds, every single questions you're being asked before you answer, take a really deep breath. If you feel like the question is hard, tell the interviewer, give me a moment, please. Let me put my thoughts together and give you the best answer, and take a 10-minute break. But don't take 10 minutes in every single question. You hear what I'm saying? Because it will add up. Okay. Remember, when you're interviewing for top companies, they are expecting you to think fast. All of them are. If you keep on pausing and keep on writing things down, you don't want the interviewer to think that they're interviewing a student. I'm just trying to be very honest with you guys here. And I've sat into so many debrief. I work for a lot of these big companies. And when I hear feedback like that, it just kind of irks me a little bit. That is not true. Okay. So take 5 minutes, take a really deep breath. Make sure that you're able to put your thoughts together and use your best example. The second thing is, the goal is to not memorize every single thing you have done in your career. I repeat, the goal is not to memorize everything. You will get flustered. You will get frustrated and you would fail. Okay. The goal is to not memorize, but it's to know. There's a big difference between the two. Okay. I teach the STAR method the way that I do because I don't expect you to write full, complete paragraphs. I don't. That's not what I teach in my cohort. It's going extreme concise, picking the most key words so you can remember what you have done. What are you solving for? Okay, what is your ROI? Now work backward and tell me the story. Oh, you're struggling. You can't deliver your message. That's great. Practice. I don't care if you need to stare at the mirror or you do it via Zoom, you do it somehow, but you need to have a lot of practice and there really shouldn't be any excuses at all. Okay? At all. For instance, tell me about the biggest business impact that you've made. If I were to prepared for this interview questions, here's an example for you. And this is how I memorize. What I wrote down is Amazon B2B building up 2 remote dev center, 2.1 billion. That's it. You see how quick that is? Let's just say that I'm really struggling with my innovation question or the biggest business impact. If I were to put 3 sticky notes around the camera that my eyes are not moving anywhere else, that will be the one that I put down like that. Because let me tell you, my friends, the biggest impact you've ever made, everyone in their mom, their dad, their cousin is going to ask you. Doesn't matter if they're in startup, everyone's going to ask you, walk me through a project that you're most proud of. Same type of questions. Okay? Let me know if that makes sense. If I have to work backward and talk about my time where Amazon, not just Amazon, B2B, that was the team. Doing what? Building 2 development center. What is your ROI? $2.1 billion. You see that? You see what I'm doing here? Using 1 or 2 keywords and I will remember every single thing. Guys, I'm sharing with you exactly what I teach and brief inside my VIP coaching, my premium coaching. And I'm not holding anything back because I'm so pumped up. My goal is really to help you land a job at your favorite FAANG company. The market is so hot right now. There are so many millions of new job opening, but you're also competing with the 5+ millions who just up and leave their job for another FAANG company or just not working at all because they're tired of the commute and a lot of other reasons. You see where I'm going? Okay. So rather than having 40 sticky notes, flipping pages, you guys know how I feel about the notebook that I showed you a second ago. Flipping pages on your notebook, looking for answers on your wall. There's a lot of folks who have, I don't know how they're able to see their notes on the wall behind the camera. It's just so tiny. It's horrible. Do not do that. Okay. Think about this. If you were to have 1 sticky note, just one, just put situation, task, action, and result, which is the STAR method. Yeah. The most important thing is that what are you trying to tell us? What problem are you trying to solve? What did you do to solve this problem? What is your ROI? When I gave you an example of Amazon, that is my situation, right? I want you to start my story from that company and that experience. What problem am I trying to solve? Building 2 remote dev center. How did I do it? That's where I work backward to tell you the story. What is the ROI? Because that acquisitions, building from ground up, it is now more than $2.1 billion. Okay, so that is just a real life example. And don't worry, I will remake this part of the video and turn it into a 10-minute clip for you guys to watch. And if you have to write down 40 sticky notes, it's a clear indication that you're not ready to interview. If you have to scramble and look at your notes, you're not ready. If you have to ask your friend or ask me if you can write notes, take notes, you're not ready. A good interviewer should be looking for things and finding things they know what they have done. And if you're telling me you have 10+ years experience, you better show up like you are senior and you have that level of experience. And if you are ever upset with me, which I get a lot of this in my cohort, Holly, I have 20 years experience. I'm a senior director. You're not a director. Because if I'm asking you a simple questions, let's just stay focused here. Walk me through the most impactful thing that you've done to deliver to your customers, or walk me through the most innovative thing that you've done. If I don't understand it, if I don't understand you've actually been able to deliver you result, and most people don't even talk about the result, you're not a director. Okay. So a lot of people are so fixated in the position title. I'm a director here, so I'm a director at Amazon. No. The bigger company that you join, the higher the bar is, because when they hire you, they have to envision you to be just as good or better than most of the folks that are in the team. This is not just Amazon, how a bar raiser evaluate if you're 50% better than everyone else in the company, not the team, the company, okay? Facebook does the same thing, Google does the same thing, Microsoft does the same thing, Siemens does the same thing, and I used to work for all of those companies. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Let's answer some Q&A, shall we? I just wanted to make sure the member mode is on. Rita, hello, Rita. How are you? Mudasa trainer. How are you, Mudasa? By the way, if you are tuning in and you're new, there's quite a number of you that's watching right now. Let me fix it. This is bugging me, guys. It's really bugging me. It's bugging me when things are not perfect. Don't try to be perfect. Do not follow my footsteps. Make sure you subscribe for my channel. If you do, it truly helps the channel continue growing. I care to attract the right type of mindset who are looking to land job with big tech company. That's my core focus. So when you do that, Google love those algorithms. Okay. All right. I hope you're doing awesome as always. Good vibe. Thank you, Mudasar trainer. Hannah, we were watching the Women in Tech together. Hannah, everybody say hello to Hannah, who is our community manager. Hannah is my community manager for everything, including my coaching platform inside Discord as well. Thank you so much for still being here, girl. I know it's probably, what time is it now? 1 o'clock in the morning in Sydney. I know it's some odd hours for you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You don't have to, by the way. I know it's really early for you. Diane, I'm ready to answer all of your questions. Give it all to me. Satya, hello, sir. Lovely to see you every single week. Kathy, hi, Kathy. How are you? Umalola, hello. I saw a lot of you guys message me on LinkedIn. As you can tell, I spent all of yesterday and actually all of the last week working on the AWS Women in Tech. So I've been very preoccupied with a lot of the stuff. In fact, I haven't even put timestamp in the last two recording in the live, where I usually would put timestamp. There's a lot of wonderful things coming up for 2022 or beginning towards the end of the year, where I'm going to take a lot of the important content and turn them into smaller clips, so you're not looking at a bunch of live streams. So there's a lot of stuff that is in the cook right now. The chef is cooking something for you guys. But if you know an amazing video editor who can edit at least 100 videos for me a week, please do let me know. I would love to talk to that person. Okay? Tatiana. Hello, Tatiana. I just got an email, phone screen. I applied for. God, why is this doing that? Guys, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why this is still doing that. It's bugging me. I'm sorry. I cannot go on. I cannot go on unless I do this. I'm definitely taking this. I don't know why it's doing this, guys. This is so weird. This is out of nowhere. Okay, just give me 10 seconds, I promise. Remember when I talk about don't be a perfectionist? When you're live streaming, you kind of have to. You kind of have to be engaged, because if you're not engaged, you will lose a lot of audience when they know that you're not serious about your stream. Okay, I'm going to do this. Sorry. Giving you guys a backstage here. Oh, Lord. Okay, now you guys get the gif of how I put things together. Yay! I fixed it! I'm so excited. Yes. Okay. Sorry. Tatiana. I just got an email to schedule a phone screen. I apply for Manager of Data Center Network Engineer. Tatiana, what is your questions? I'm looking for your questions. Drop it in, okay? Diana says, I passed my first interview for Partner Development Manager for GSI in Singapore. My second interview is next Wednesday. I am glad I made it and we all made it today. No need to worry about the previous ones. I'm from Peru. Oh, wow, that's cool. What brought you to Singapore? I love Peru. In fact, my personal Facebook page background is Machu Picchu. That was one of the best trip I've ever taken in my earlier years before I become a parent. It was amazing. I love Peru. But yes, I will live in Singapore in a heartbeat. Will someone please send me to Singapore to do a talk? The position is with AWS, been watching the videos and it helped me pass my first interview. That's awesome. Let me know if you have other questions for the first interview or the initial phone interview. I know that they were grilling you to make sure that you have the foundation for the role. For your second interview, are we talking about the second phone screen interview? I'm assuming they're trying to dive deeper into making sure that they see you as a potential fit at least 70-80% before the full loop. Okay. A lot of the questions on the phone screen are very similar to everything in my Amazon leadership principle questions and answer, which I'm going to change that playlist to interview questions and answer. I don't want to focus on just the LP because if I just focus on the LP, um, you guys are only focusing on the leadership principle and not the actual question. Okay. I want to make sure I'm not wasting your time. If you're going to invest the effort in studying, I want you to focus on the right thing. All righty. Elizabeth, please say hello to Amazonian in the house. Elizabeth, I am going to get back to you sometime next week so that we can collaborate to have you in my show because I love interviewing Amazonian who also is a member of my community and resulted in a job offer. And also, this girl has 2 kids. If she could do it, all of you guys can do it, yeah? This mom I had to sleep. I know, Hannah. I started at 10:30 and it ended at 5 a.m. in the morning. I'm just really interested in hearing those tech leaders speak. Not just the one thing that I wasn't interested in is hearing my own speech, but I'm more interested in listening to all the other leaders and learn from them. It was amazing. You can rewatch the whole thing, Elizabeth. Hannah, yes, AWS Movement Tech was awesome. Your session was fantastic. Thank you. I was actually very nervous. Um, Kathy says, I attended the Invitation Senior Operations Leader event hosted by Amazon yesterday. Oh, I didn't know they have one. That's cool. Can you guys do me a favor in the future? Because if there's Amazon or basically tech company, my heart is in tech. Can you guys tell? If you hear any brand name or major tech company who are hosting either a conference, a talk, or anything like that, please reach out to me via LinkedIn or share with me in the live stream so other people can benefit. I just love technologies and I could totally geek out of it. Okay. Alrighty. Awesome, Kathy. Thank you for sharing. Damped. Hello, Damped. Doris, thank you so much for the coffee. Tatiana says, so nervous the phone screen will be on October 14. Hopefully enough time to keep preparing. Tatiana, for your phone interview, I'm going to ask you this, girl. How many questions have you had before the phone interview? Don't wait till you're on site to list out all the questions and your perfect answer and practice, right? You guys should be interview ready before you consider applying to any job. Yeah? Please say yes. Say yes or give me a thumbs up if I'm making sense to you. You should not be applying for a job or taking interview until you are fully prepared, at least 80%. Because from the moment you start the interview process, it will be a little bit late to start preparing. It takes a good 3 months to prep for FAANG companies. I repeat, it takes a good 3 months, which is why my VIP coaching is a 90-day coaching service program. Okay? It takes that long. I haven't met anyone who are able to just kill it overnight and land a job at Amazon. Amazon's bar is extremely high because they don't mess around. They wanted to ask you things to truly get the feel that you have the bias for action, for delivery. Are you going to waste your time or pick things up on your own? How quickly or rapidly can you come up to speed and deliver results? So that is a very high bar compared to other FAANG company where you just have to be a very good verbal communicator. You just have to have a really good personality. Like Facebook, for example, employee happiness is what they focus on. Can I see myself hanging out with you? Like Google is another employer. Okay, how many windows are in Seattle because they only care about if you're smart. Amazon, once a cake and pie and eat it too. They care if you're smart. They care if you communicate well. They also care, are you going to be productive? That's the difference. Rita, hello, Rita. How are you? Rita, yes, give me your question. Rita says, great photos, by the way. Now I have this. Let me. Rita. I'm sorry, let me make this big enough. It's really for you guys and not me. Meaning, if you were to watch this, I wanted, oh, there you go. So much. If you were to watch it, I wanted to make sure that you're able to find it, okay? To find the question. That's why I'm doing this. So, what was the sticky notes that you put near your computer? I didn't catch it. The sticky notes, the only sticky note that I would recommend you to put next to the light where your camera lens is, right next to it, because if you don't stare at anything, your eyes movement, they know that you're looking at notes. STAR, the STAR method, which is what problem you're trying to solve. That is your T. Okay. First of all, what are you trying to tell us? Your situation. What is it? Right. I gave an example. You need to scroll all the way up to rewatch it so I'm not repeating myself for 15 minutes. But what problem you're trying to solve, how you're supposed to solve it, and your ROI. The STAR method is the only sticky you should be having, because if you're stuck and lost and confused, I want you to read the questions and being able to remind you how to start kicking off by giving or delivering your answer. Okay? And don't worry, I will remake this video so that you can rewatch everything. Okay? Tatiana says, as a manager, many of my stories are about how I got results and how I make things guiding my team. Is that okay? That is okay for management or people leadership questions, but you still talk about the biggest problem that you solve, how you're able to do it. If you're leading a team, what is your initiative? How did you lead? How do you direct? What was your roadmap? What is your strategy? You see where I'm going, Tatiana? You still have to highlight what was your effort in directing your team. Because a lot of the folks whom have interview gone wrong, they talk about, yeah, my developer did this. Okay, what exactly did you do during this? It sounded like you just delegate the problem to someone else to do it. What was your effort in it? Alrighty. Wow, Hannah is 3 a.m. 3 a.m. in Sydney, Australia. Please give our community manager a clap. Hannah is extremely motivated and passionate to help all of you guys, and that's why she is here. Okay? So please give the girl some coffee. I don't know if you drink coffee, tea, milk tea, give her something. Spanx, thank you, Spanx, for the super chat. Let me move over here really quick. And by the way, if you're watching, you wanted to leave a comment, all you have to do is click the join button to do so. Okay? Thank you so much, Spanx, for the super chat. Didn't have answer to some of the questions. It is wise to continue applying. Oh, hang on one second. Let me pull you up here for a second, okay? So that you can have this. Spanx says, thank you so much for the super chat, by the way. I failed the tech phone screen, didn't have answer to some of the questions. Is it why to continue applying? Worked on fail, eager to get back on a horse. Listen, Spanx, I recognize you. I know that you show up to a couple of my live stream before. Here it is, my friend. I'm so passionate to help all of you who fail your interviewed, because a lot of you guys don't listen. I said very, very clearly, unless you have at the bare minimum 20 different very strong stories, you're not ready to interview. 20, at least 20. That's just one example. I preferably, I like you to have those 20 answers by 2 examples each, which means 40 different stories. If you don't have story, you're not going to memorize the important piece. Okay? If you can't answer 2 of those questions, I would ask yourself, what are those questions that you're struggling with? What is it? Tell me right here. Tell me right here, and I can coach you on the best answer for you. Do not reapply and keep on failing. You guys need to fix the problem, okay? It's kind of like running for a full marathon. I don't know if there anyone here who's a marathon runner or a cyclist or anything like that. I used to be a marathon runner. That's why I'm sharing this analogy with you where I think I can do it. I don't know what I was thinking back then. But I didn't really train. I had like what 3 weeks rather than 3 months to train. This is from zero to running, God, what is it? 26.1 miles? 13 miles. I can't remember. Sorry, guys. It's been a long time for me, but you guys got the gist here. Unless you train yourself, you just can't go to the finish line. Okay. I had cramp on my legs. I couldn't even move in the middle of it because I had almost no training. I think 3 weeks was enough to run a full marathon. I don't know what I was thinking, and it was in San Francisco, the Nike Woman Marathon. And guess what, guys? I finished second to the last place. Second to the last place. I pretty much walk limping most of the way there. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to tell you. Interviewing is the same philosophy, where if you how many questions do you have? 2, did you really put in the effort to study? Did you practice? Okay. Did you listen to yourself and evaluate? Would you hire yourself? If the answer is no to 1, 2, and 3, you're not ready to re-interview. Okay. If you're interested for me to help you, because in my VIP coaching, 90% of the folks have failed their Amazon interview 1 to 6 times. And in working with me for 2 to 3 months, this is with a failed interview. Okay. With failed interview only. True story. Between 2 to 3 months, they're able to land a job offer at Amazon and multiple offer, either the same position, different team, or even a level up. It's crazy. I talked about one of my former VIP coaching, Gaurav. Let's call him Gaurav. That's actually his real name. He had 5 interviewed, and he was a system admin, a level 5 time. He bombed his interview 5 times. When he came to me, he was devastated. He was just like depressed. So within exactly to the dot 3 months, and this man never skipped a beat, show up every single week, did all the work. He worked so hard where his eyes were turning red, where I had to say, hey, you need to sleep. You have to calm down. You're overworking yourself. And he listened to every single thing to a T. Guess what? He's been an Amazonian for almost 6 months now as a level 6 solution architect. He went from a level 5 system admin to a solution architect. That is because in the VIP coaching, the way how he answers my question has so much cloud and networking infrastructure where I didn't feel like he was just an admin. And I kept on telling him that he could do more. He's actually not a level 5. He's a level 6 because his communication went from having no story to perfect. Okay, so Spanx, I'm not sharing this with you to make you feel better. I'm telling you this is that 90% of the people who interview at Amazon have probably failed their interview before, including bar racers and hiring managers. I know because as an interview trainer for Amazon myself internally during that time, I looked at all the hiring team before selecting people in the interview panel. I can tell how many interviews they've done. I can tell the entire record, their candidate profile. I can also tell how many times they have failed their interview. And I can tell you the employees at Amazon, at least a bare minimum, I'm giving you a very low ballpark, 50% of the people have failed the interview anywhere between 1 to 3 times in average. Okay? So there will be light around the tunnel. Chin up. There's a lot of things you could be doing. The first thing you should do is to look at my Amazon fail interview because it tells you exactly what to do with a T. And if you're ever interested, take a look at my VIP coaching because this is the only coaching services that I offer because it has worked like magic for a lot of the people. Okay? Thank you so much for the super chat. Let me know if you have any other questions and how I can support you. All righty. Let's go back to hi, Kathy, Rita, and everyone. Virtual hug. Yes. Diane. Diana, what is your question, Diana? Diana says, I want to ask for feedback for the questions about the biggest achievement. Is it about the project to monitor crowd levels at all MRT stations in real time, accessible to the public via mobile app, and other team in the Department of Transport? What are you trying to ask, Diana? April 2020 lockdown in Singapore. You want me to review your story, it sounds like, correct? Okay, I got it now. Guys, if you want me to review your story, please put story reviewed so that I know I'm not spending my time in guessing. Okay? Yeah? And if you have a questions, be very specific so that I can give you an intelligent response. What position you're interview, what location or what team, because that makes a big difference. Okay? So the question is the biggest achievement. Your biggest achievement is also the most innovative thing you've done. It's also an example of a project you're most proud of. And it's also your biggest business impact. You see where I'm going? There's 10,000 ways to ask one question. Okay, here it is. It's about a project to monitor crowd level at MRT station in real time. First of all, from someone who's coming from a non-tech environment or not at the MRT environment, you have to shed light a little bit. What company are you working for? Who are you delivering this to? Okay. Other team, Department of Transport Government details, April 2020 lockdown in Singapore. Department of Transport has a responsibility to safeguard the health and safety commutes. I would also mention my role. What is your role there and why are you solving this problem? So that's missing for me. If not, it just sounds like someone's talking and I don't really understand the intent and the transition of the story, okay? In parallel, I work alongside my technical team to translate the documentation into scope of work, document and address the needs of the customer. Who is the customer? Who are you delivering to? And how did you dive deep to figure out what the gap is or the problem that you're solving? So that's missing for me. And remember, the people who's going to interview you, Diana, are from all walks of life who do not have your experience. Okay? You're going to have, and I don't know what position you're interviewing for. So I'm like all over the place right now. I can't give you an intelligent answer. So do let me know what position you're interviewing for. I'm thinking program management, but I'm not really sure. With the customer to them in process gathering feedback every step, I don't know who you're servicing to. Your how is very general. I don't know how you're able to put what is your process? What is your strategy? How did you figure out what the customers are looking for, what to solve, and what is your strategy to bridge the gap? So that's missing for me. Your answer sounds like job description versus the actual what have you done. Okay? We not only deliver solution, but we earn his trust. Who is he? Who's his trust? Who is this customer? And who's we? Did you put in the initiative or your whole team does? By the way, in an interview setting, never say we. It's I. Always I and no we. Okay? Alrighty. Go ahead, ask me follow-up questions, Diana, because that's very unclear to me what you're trying to deliver. I can't really tell what your initiative is, and I can't tell where your scope or your scale is. You see, you guys hear where I'm going? Because if your story is missing a lot of meat, if I can't figure out what you've done, the effort that you put in to solve what problem to whom, so in that case, I don't know if you're able to provide or interviewing for the right level or the role. Rita, I'm so grateful for these live. Well, I'm so grateful that you guys are here because, Rita, if you guys are not here, I won't be here running the live stream. And I know that there's a lot of you guys who's watching right now. And if you're not ready to join my live stream, at least give a girl a thumbs up inside the video, not live chat or live chat and video, because when you do that, it helps promote as I'm going live to attract the right folks that are in here. Okay. And I know that there's a lot of pay YouTube community member. If you're afraid to answer questions, you could always make up an email address as well. But let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, there are over 3,500 people who are able to land a job at Amazon specifically since 2020 because if you all look back at all of my live streams, especially the member only playlist, you can tell that roughly there's about 8 to 10 people who comes in for job offer announcement every Tuesday and Friday. You guys do the math. It's been nearly 2 years now. And that's where I got the number from. All right? I'm not joking with you. I'm not playing, but you have to ask the right questions. Tati, I think I'm 60% ready. I haven't rescheduled the phone screen yet. The latest option they gave me is October 14th, so I'm going for that day. Listen, guys, if you're not ready, Amazon, especially Amazon, it ain't going anywhere, okay? Amazon's not going anywhere, not at all. When the crisis occurred, Amazon is the only company and will be the only company that is standing, period. Period. Because there's thousands of products and services around the world. There's always going to be a home for you. And because the recruiter already like you had already passed the initial screen. If you're not ready, ask for end of October or push it out or cancel it and re-engage with the recruiter when you're ready. You're in the system. You're in the system by phone, screen, schedule, pending. They will always reach out to you. Let me repeat. They will always reach out to you. Again, I'm going to repeat myself 100 times because you guys don't listen. And that is why by the time you come into my cohort, you have already failed your interview. Guys, I'm going to go ahead and clap my own hand here. Okay? You guys seriously need to start listening. Spanx, this is talking to you as well, my friend, who just failed your phone screen. Stop applying, stop taking interview, and start doing the hard work. Just start doing the hard work. There are so many people who watches every single one of my Amazon video. There's not a whole lot, by the way. There's 3 playlists that has the word Amazon on it. And they watched it and they follow every single thing. And they ace. They're Amazonians. There are some, no names, you know who you are, that watch every single one of my video, literally. Every single one of my video. They came into my VIP cohort. Just like Alicia, I don't know if you guys were here on my Tuesday live section of this week. I need to refurbish that video and trim it down. That's why I haven't really done anything to it. She's a program manager now. She just accepted her offer, multiple offer. Amazon was one of them. She went from 0 to hero in 1 month because she's watched most of my content and she's done the work. So by the time she comes into my cohort, all she had to do was to get all of her stories reviewed by me. Once she has perfect reviewed, her goal was to pass my bar, my mock interview and peer interview bar. And it worked. Okay? I don't need to repeat myself that again. There are so many people who does that. Guys, there is truly no excuses as to why you're not doing it. I'm talking about free services here. It's right here in my group of library. Okay? That's it. I'm going to stop right there. You all know how I feel when you have a failed interview. And for all of you who reach out to me via LinkedIn to tell me that you're not ready, you're scared, if you have to reach out to a coach to tell them that, you ain't ready, my friend, okay? That means you're not ready, so stop. Stop and cut it out. I'm not yelling at you specifically, but I'm saying that 99.9% of you are like that. I'm being so genuine here. 90% of my messages out of the hundreds every single week to 1,000 messages are like that. It's crazy. And by the way, for me to accept you as a client in my VIP coaching, I have to really evaluate your message and your LinkedIn profile that I personally reviewed every single one. Hannah, you're inside my VIP community. You know those are amazing professional because I'm only interested in working with highly ambitious professional because my goal is to get you to the finish line with multiple offer, at least one offer from Amazon. And if I feel that you're asking questions and you're probably not going to listen or follow through, I won't accept those in my cohort. This is just as raw as I can get because the community are your biggest cheerleader and they want you to win. I want you to win. Why do you guys think I'm doing this? Why do you guys think I'm running 2 live streams every single week? Listen, guys, $3.99 a month for live streaming so you can drop your questions for me is practically free. Okay? I'm doing this because I genuinely want you to find happiness in what you love. In what you love, okay? I know it's scary time right now. We're going to Q4 and is reaching towards the end of the year. Let's be real here. Amazon is always going to be busy. Guess what? The holidays are coming. Halloween, great. There's more product launch that's coming. Thanksgiving, Black Friday is around the corner, right? Christmas, great. No one is sleeping if you're an Amazon employee because things are launching left and right. New Year's, great. You hear what I'm saying? Every single month, something is happening at Amazon. So I don't understand what you're afraid of and why can't you cancel your interview or postpone it? They're not going to say no to you until the position is filled. Yeah? Okay. I think I had enough time in talking Jesus with you all. There you go, Spanx. Tell me the difference between rational database. Oh, okay, got it. I use your advice on crafting stories and tell me about yourself, and I think I did well there. For the tech questions let me ask you this. Did you take the time to look through the type of question and the tech? Two things. One, in the job description, it talks about the tech environment. Did you look at that and study the tech environment? Two, did you go to Glassdoor for tech? All of the tech questions are on Glassdoor, my friend. All of it, okay? I pinned a video a second ago on here. I talk about the top 7 questions. If you click on that link, even if you do Holly Lee Amazon interview, the first video that popped up, it is my most highly rated video. I walk you through a tutorial how to find questions, okay? That is Amazon interview tips, and I'm sorry, Amazon interview 3 tips. That is the title of the company. I'm sorry. I need more coffee. Can you guys tell? Friday is really rough for me, by the way. Morning live streaming is really hard. That's why it took me a year just to do the morning stream because I have to rush between getting my son ready for daycare, coming here, and I didn't really have time to have my coffee before the live stream. That's why I'm speaking broken English right now with you guys. But thank you for your patience. Okay? I walk you through step by step on how to figure out where the question is on Glassdoor. That video is called Amazon Interview Tips, 3 tips. Amazon Interview Tips, okay? You have to know, you have to do all your research and know your ducks in a row before you interviewed. Unless you have a checklist that says yes, don't do it. Don't do it, okay? A lot of the stuff you're looking for is all free right here in my YouTube library. And if you don't know where to find the questions, feel free to reach out to me right here via LinkedIn and I can guide you exactly where it is. Oh, by the way, look what my son made me. He drew his name on his balloon. Woo! I was going to do that in the end, but oh well. Alrighty. Damped. Hi, Damped. I need your opinion. I'm in the final phase, and the recruiter told me that if it happens that I'm selected, the visa process to get work permit can take between 4 to 6 months. Are we talking about an H-1B visa, guys? Please, I'm begging you. Be very specific on your questions. What kind of visa? What are you interviewing for? Give me more meat. I'm trying to train you mentally. Meat, okay? Only after I will be able to join the company as an employee, meaning that 4 to 6 months, maybe more without any income. That is true. You know, before you interview with companies, you already know that you need a visa sponsorship, so that's not going to change anything. Even though these FAANG companies have a premium process, it's up to the immigration office that you have to follow a list of guidelines. I'm just talking to talk here because I have no clue what immigration we're talking about here. Be specific, Damped. I really want to work for Amazon, but I can't afford to wait that long without any income. Well, then why don't you go ahead and see if you can get a consultant, a contract job somewhere, or look at other employment. If your goal, your end result, is to land at Amazon, don't wait forever for one company. Why do you do that to yourself? When you interview with other employer or land job offer, you're also regaining your confidence as well. And the visa, it could take more than 6 months. Who knows, right? Look, we're still in the middle of a pandemic. You guys heard about the variances? which means the aftermath of the COVID shot, that a lot of people are getting ill and people are still dying every single day out there. Yes, we're still in a pandemic. We're going to be in a pandemic for another year or two. So don't wait all your hopes and dreams on one company, guys. That's crazy. Go pay them bills. Get the bills paid. Do whatever you must, okay? Amazon is still there. Let them get back to you when your immigration is it's fulfilled in completion, but in the process, you do what you must have. All right, damn. Umo. Can I call you Umo? That's actually sounds pretty cool. Umolola. Please, can you explain what you mean answering two for each questions by having 20 stories to 40 stories? Yes, absolutely. Um, Umalola, if you take a look at, you know what? I think I'm just going to give it for free. So just wait for it. I am going to share the list of questions that I share for my VIP coaching and my Star Interview Accelerator for free. It is 20 to 23. If you're a people manager, then there's about 25 stories. If you're not, it's 20 story. But a lot of them are in my playlist that you have to take the time to watch it. I'm doing that because no one is going to watch a couple hour video. Let's be honest here. They're not going to. That's why I have to separate the segment. Even though some of you guys are complaining, why can't I make one video for everything? Well, guys, if I do that, it's very time consuming. It's going to take me a long time to produce the quality of that content that no one's going to watch more than 2-3 minutes. It's a waste of my time and effort. Okay. I am going to build out top 20 questions to ask Amazon plus FAANG company. That's coming up. I have a lot of things on my agenda to do. But as mentioned, because I was feeling ill for nearly 2 months, I'm a little bit behind schedule. And also, I will participate in the largest video conference next week. So I'm actually flying to LA this coming Monday. And a lot of which, ironically, when I'm away from home and not around my little prince, I actually have more time to put in more work for my YouTube channel. So a lot of the stuff are coming. Okay. If you just focus on the leadership principle questions and answer right in there, there's a lot of questions for you. There are about 10 templates to guide you through what to do. My personal example, all you got to do is print screen it. And there you have it. It's free. Okay. I don't know if you all notice, but there's a lot of folks who charges you for that stuff. And it's not even their true examples. I'm just saying. So make sure you take advantage of all of the free resources that are there. You don't need to answer 50 questions or 100 questions. You will be flustered. You need at the bare minimum 20 story. And in that playlist, I also teach you how to recycle your story by not sounding exactly alike. Okay? Because no one has 40 different stories. Let's be real here. Okay? What if you have only worked for one employer or two employer and all of your examples are sounding alike? That's the last thing, or the last thing. That's the least that I wanted you to do. What will happen in your loop? Boy, I'm really struggling. I need myself some caffeine. I'm really trying to quit you, coffee, but it's not working. Damn, I just answered your questions about wanting to work for Amazon. You're not going to tell Amazon that you're going to get a job just in case it doesn't work out, right? Damn, and everybody else, less is more. Let me repeat, less is more in the way you answer your questions and not oversharing to the interviewer. Do not share anything personal, which is, I can't afford right now. I'm going to pick up another job. No, that's a no. Do not overshare. Alrighty. And the goal is to get interview with other employer as well. You guys need to be very comfortable in that, okay? And also, just to let you know, I have had VIP coaching cohort where the university or I don't know, some kind of program that actually pay them to be in my program because it helps them find job. So if you are not working right now, I would highly advise that you find your local unemployment agency or help or university, whatever that may be, and see if you can get sponsorship or funding to be part of my VIP coaching program. That way you're not having to pay out of pocket. Okay? Someone has done it before. I'm not sure how they did it. I didn't really ask. I try to leave my member confidential in what they do. Okay. Craig, hello, Craig. Welcome as a member. And me, hello. Tatiana says, I'm working hard. I've watched almost all your video. I will follow your advice and talk to the recruiter to move the phone screen. Tatiana, please do that, because the last thing I want to do is see you in my cohort that you have failed your interview. Okay. If you fail your interview and you've done everything that you could and you answer yes to every single thing on the prep stage, then yes, I'm proud of you. You've done everything you can, but you guys got to understand, Amazon is really not going anywhere. I don't foresee Amazon going anywhere, period. Okay? I think even when we have grandchildren, Amazon is still around, being strong. So don't worry about that. Dam says, once I land an offer, how long should I take to give them an answer? 1 week, maybe? Well, Dam, if you don't have a job, if I were you, I would give them an answer right away, because when they give you a formal offer, I'm assuming that you had already negotiated your compensation, right? So that's really a personal preference. I can't tell you what to do. But if you are working for an employer during that time, because 3 to 6 months is a long time from now, then I would say giving them 2 weeks notice. It's always good to give your current employer, even if you're a consultant, 2 weeks notice. That's just the right thing to do, because at the end of the day, my friends, you don't want to burn any bridges. Lauren, hello, Lauren. After the final interviews, I heard that After the final interviews with Amazon, I heard that I'd be a great fit for the company, but one down level position from the original position that I interviewed for. The recruiter said he'll reach out to some other team to see if there are hiring managers who are interested in my profile. He said I would need to go through the whole process again. So that tells me that you are probably a better fit for a different role or a different team. It's incorrect. You don't always have to re-interview the whole process again if it's a level down, unless it's a different environment or a different role. Then you would need to. But a lot of the core leadership principle, they're just trying to, to be honest with you, I don't understand why you need to re-interview again. That's just a waste of time, because the feedback aiming towards the LP, for example, walk me through the most complex problem you've ever solved. It's going to be the same questions. It doesn't matter what position that you're interviewing for. So I don't know why your recruiter is telling you that, but that may change where you don't have to re-interview, but you definitely have to talk to the different team, or maybe not a full loop, maybe interviewing with 3 people and not a total of 5, because the feedback is still fresh. Okay? Good luck, Lauren. Let me know how that goes. Family is everything. Good to see you. And thank you so much for the super chat. Nice cat. And. Ooh. And how are you? Answer reviewed. Yes. Thank you so much. Look at you. I love this. So organized. And I'm going to put the question here. So if you were to watch back in the timestamp, you'll be able to find it, okay? By the way, guys, next Tuesday, I may cancel my live stream. If I'm not, I will be live streaming on my mobile phone at the YouTuber conference, and I'm probably going to give you a backstage of where I'm at, just physically at the conference. So I won't have the big dual monitor to read through and review your story, anything like that. But it would be cool. Come hang out with me, and if anything, I will do a live stream right on my mobile phone and just have a informal conversation with you, okay? Just a heads up. Don't say I didn't warn you. All right. How have you used data to identify an opportunity for change? Excellent. Situation. After starting a new position as an HR manager, I found in one department, 100% of employees that receive a warning were terminated in the next 60 days. My task was to identify the contributing factors and implement a solution to improve retention. Okay, that's good. That's pretty good. First, I dug deep into employee files and conducted interviews, which uncover manager used this process as a formality. Next, I created a 90-day pilot program that include coaching, employee accountability, and a date of paid decision-making leave. As a result, 100% of employees who participated in the pilot were retained, and the program was expected company-wide. Yes, girl, yes, girl, yes, yes. Very good. Nice job, Anne. You are the first person who dropped your story. Perfect. That was beautiful. You see that? Short, sweet, concise, to the point. I love it. You were listening. You were listening. Thank you. Beautiful. And if you're able to answer your delivery and the way you articulate like this, you will get the job. If every single one of your question is like this and your transition flows so beautifully, you're going to get hired. Multiple companies and not just Amazon. Great work. You guys know, for those who's been with me for a couple of months, this is the first time that someone had gotten their story excellent. Beautiful. I'm motivated. Can you guys tell? I just woke up from lack of caffeine. Thank you, Anne. Lauren says, but I haven't heard from the recruiter for a week. It's frustrating. In this situation, what should I do? If you haven't heard from the recruiters and you're already in the interview process, follow up with them every 2 business days. The recruiter have what is called the 2 and 5 promise. When you start the interview process every 2 business days, they're supposed to follow up with you. Okay? After the on-site loop, within 5 business days, they should give you some feedback. If not, you will absolutely hear back from the recruiter every 2 business days. And that is the 2 to 5 promise. That was one of my biggest projects before I left Amazon several years ago. I know it's still happening. Can you all tell? I have a very strong bias for action. Even during that time, I was trying to improve the candidate experience because a lot of the times when you don't know what you don't know and the interviewer have to provide a little bit guidance so that you are not wasting their time and your time and result in not getting the job. Just like recruiter. Don't get me started on the recruiters. There's a lot of recruiters who are high achievers, as in being able to fill a lot of the positions, but are they good in a sense of candidate experience? Not really. Okay. A lot of them are focusing on the number. I say this with a lot of heart right here. I've been in recruiting for 21 years. Although I'm a career coach, I don't really get involved in the recruiting stuff anymore. But it's really frustrating when I hear feedback like this. Even my own VIP coaching clients, 2 of them, in fact, at the end of 2020, both of them received job offers, verbal job offers from Amazon, and the recruiter went MIA. You heard me. MIA. I'm like, no way. And I'm going to coach you guys the same way as my paid client. Okay. There's no difference between here and being in my VIP cohort at all, except the fact that you're getting me live and you get me to review every single thing and passing my bar. The thing is that I have coached them to reach out to the recruiters and the hiring managers every 2 business days. Don't be afraid to bug them, because guess what, guys? You spend months of preparation, right? In their case, they even hire a coach, me. So you spend the time and the money and the effort, and you finally pass the bar. So if they're not following up with you, it's not on you, it's on them. So don't be afraid to follow up with them. And the reason why you also want to follow up with the hiring manager, guess what? The hiring manager was the one that forces another rec to be created so that they can push the offer out. In the end, it took both of those former VIP coaching members nearly 2 months to get the formal offer. Yes, they were very nervous. One of them have lost his job for over a year, for a year and a half, and he was just kind of waiting, even though he had multiple job offer, but his goal was to work for Amazon, and he held it out. Thank God he held it out, right? And the other one had given his 2 weeks notice because the recruiter says, we're moving forward, we're generating on the offer to get it approved. And somehow the offer was lingering for like a month and a half. The offer was never approved. And they decided to go with an internal candidate. Again, do not get me started with the recruiters. It's not just Amazon, it's any company, okay? You all need to do your due diligence because I have been a candidate before, and now I've always been on the candidate's perspective and not just because I work for Amazon. It's all about Amazon to save Amazon money. It's moving fast for Amazon. No, I've never had that mentality. It's always about, okay, how can I deliver to my hiring leaders, my internal stakeholder, which is hiring managers, right? And how can I find the right talent, which is you guys, where it's a win win situation where I'm going to give you your dream job with my company at the time, and you're going to deliver killer products and services. You're going to be set up to be successful. But at the end of the day, the hiring manager need to keep tab of all the great candidates that's interviewing for his or her team, and the recruiter, if you're listening, recruiter, because I know a lot of you guys are watching my content, especially in AWS, okay? For crying out loud, please be good to your candidates. They're very nervous. Amazon is a dream company for a lot of the folks. Look at this live stream. This is not even an Amazon channel, but it is an Amazon channel right now because literally 99.9% of all of you guys only care to work for Amazon. And Amazon, if you're working this, because I've just spoke at your AWS Women in Tech events, you heard these folks. They want to work for you. You got to treat them good. You don't need to give them feedback if they don't make it through, but spend some time in prepping your candidate, Amazon recruiters. All right? That is just my 2 cents. Spence says, yes, I went through the JD and prepared for all the points. I also learned from you how to use Glassdoor to get over 100 questions, and actually saw the ones I missed, but I must have been too tense to remember the answer. Yes, that's what I'm saying. If you see 100 questions, don't look at 100 questions. Focus on all the tech questions and only look at my 20 pick behavioral questions, because the behavioral questions, there's a lot of ways to ask the same thing. You don't need to know 100 behavioral questions. Don't waste your time. Just focus on the 20 that I have given you, and I'm going to put everything on a spreadsheet and give it out for free. Who here would like me to share everything that I'm sharing in my VIP coaching cohort for free? If you want my star template, put down in the chat, say star template, please. Okay? Alrighty. Hi, me. How are you, me? Thank you for becoming a member. Me says, I'm wondering what is the Amazon deadline for internship. I tried to look up the deadline but couldn't find it anymore. Is there a best way to apply for internship? Honestly, I know nothing about internship, but you know what? Let me Google search really quick here. Okay? I'm just going to Google search really quick. No, I'm not sharing my screen with you because God knows who's watching right now. Amazon internships deadline. So I'm just on Google. Okay, here it is. I'm going to share this with you, okay? Hang on one second. I'm going to, in fact, print screen this to you right here. And I will read it off to you. Hang on one second. Bear with me, please. Okay, it's right here. Okay? Oh, sorry. Let me make this a little smaller. I just Google it. Basically, I put Amazon internship deadline, and this is what shows up. Okay? So, in theory, let me make this a little bit bigger. There are no application deadline for internships and full-time position. Most roles are posted late summer. However, we encourage students to apply early in the autumn, preceding to graduation, to increase the likelihood of interviewing for an open role. Okay, girl? If you need more information, simply go to aboutamazon.com, and this is the exact link. All right, I hope that answered your question. I'm telling you, Google is your best friend. It will tell you anything you want. Let me go ahead and move that here. Alrighty. Let's go with Tatiana. Tatiana story review, Dublin manager. Okay. What questions are we talking about here, Tatiana? Let me know what questions I'm trying to review, because that does save a lot of time, okay? Dublin manager, data edge, network engineering, questions about innovation. Okay, The most innovative thing that you've done, I'm assuming? I was working as a network infrastructure and service director for a telecom company. All righty. Woo! Woman in tech. Yes, where's my balloon? Hang on, hang on. Ooh. Yes, 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 yes. This girl is a manager for data center network engineer. Yes. You see how excited I am? There's not a whole lot of women in tech here. I'm extremely excited when I meet one, okay? All right. Company company didn't have an optimal tool for software to manage client services and the network infrastructure information. This was really affecting the customer service experience. Great problem to solve. I'm hoping that somewhere in your story you will mention who your customer is. Yeah? Okay. My task was to find and deploy a system with almost no budget to manage the client services and network infrastructure. I would simply just say my goal is to find a system deployment with no budget to manage my client. What kind of client is it? Is this telco client? Who is it? It makes a big difference when you mention who the customer is. That also helps with your scope and your scale. By the time the company was deploying a CRM to manage financial information, I did some research about the CRM. I found it would be I I I found it would work for what I need, but it required development from scratch. I leveraged the research and development team and made them part of the project. I guided them with all that I needed, how all the information has to be connected. As a result, the company has two model used by the whole company. Who are we talking about? What company are we talking about? And be careful, don't say company so many times in every single line, every single word, because it sounds like you're repeating yourself to the interviewer, okay? Supporting provision, operational, sales, customer experience improved. We were able to have report, dashboard, KPI, and made the decision based on real data. Is that the end? Okay, let's rework all of that. Okay, the question that Tatiana was trying to ask is the most innovative thing that you've done. So, with the most innovative things, I'm looking at your definitely your scale and your scope, how you deliver result, and how strategic you are, especially as a tech network infrastructure person. Okay, very good. I was working as a network infrastructure and service director for a telecom company. I would just stop right there and skip the next sentence because it was pretty much repeating the first one. And then I will go down to my goal was to find and deploy a system with almost no budget to manage who are your clients and infrastructure, manage the client services and infrastructure for whom. If you can't mention a customer's name, mention the industry. The action I took or what I've done here is diving deep to figure out what the company was deploying using their CRM to manage financial information. Due to my research, I was able to find what that was missing for me. Okay, because when you say by the time that I'm deploying a CRM, I did some research. What kind of research did you do? I found that it worked for what I need, but be specific. What does that mean? What did you find that was wrong that you were trying to fix? Why are you fixing it, and how did you know what to fix? Okay. And then you can go on to I leverage the research and development, or you can just say R&D team. They know exactly what R&D is, and make them part of the project. Why? Why did you make them? Why did you leverage the R&D team to be part of the project? Because your role here is infrastructure, right? System infrastructure. So what does that have to do with R&D? Just curious. I guided them with all that I need. What do you mean by you guided them with all that you need? So it needs to be clear. Why are you leveraging the team that you do? And what are they, how are they helping you to fix? And during that, what is your initiative? How did you guide them to build two model using the whole company, which I don't really understand what that means? To use two models by what? Be specific. When you talk about support, provision, operation, financial, so basically you're naming the team, but what are you doing? What are you doing for the teams at the companies. When you say company, are we talking about the customers' companies, or are you talking about your company? So that's a little bit unclear. Okay. The end result is I was able to build a successful report, dashboard, and KPI influencing how many people for your customer. How big is your customer? So a lot of that is missing for me in your result, in your business impact. Remember, the question is innovation. So if you're going to answer innovation, you want kabam in your face. You want to throw numbers at me. Okay? Let me know if that makes sense, Tatiana. Practice makes perfect. Oh, hey, Diana. My baby girl woke up. I'm applying for partner development manager for GSI. Awesome. Yes, 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 yes. I am going to offer the star template for free. And all of you guys who are the pay YouTube community member, if you want to join, simply hit the join button because the star template is going to be inside the community tab. And let me show you guys what that looks like so you know. Okay, so you know where to find it. I need to make it pretty because there's a lot of information in there that I have to remove before I do so. It's going to be up next week sometime, and I'm going to share my screen with you. Hang on one second. I don't want to show you my entire screen, but here it is. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, this is my screen that I'm looking at, okay? If you are a community member, all you have to do, if you go to my main page, which is just Holly Lee Coaching, or you can simply click on any of my video for that matter. If you click on my name, this is my main page, yeah? Hang on, let me move this. So in my main page, by the way, there's a free most innovative story. If you click on here, is a free template with example for free. Again, for free. Everything I talk about in here, it's for free. That's already there. Okay. So the community is right here. Let me make this bigger so you guys can see it. If you go down here, you see right that's a playlist. This is a community tab right here. If you click on the community tab, the view for public and community is not the same. Okay. All of my template, by the way, 47 people landed a job offer within 4 weeks. It's actually 51. In here, and I will post it on here for community posts only so you can find. Again, go to my main page and simply click on community and you will find it. And for those who are really struggling and preparing for the interview, I would watch my top 7 interview questions. Okay. And if you have time to do one thing, I would simply ask you to go to this playlist right here. Look at this, guys. There's only 10 video with timestamp in them. I'm going to show you guys exactly what it looks like. Let me go ahead and remove this. I'm sorry, guys. I recorded this playlist was when my home was flooded and I have no office. I believe we were in a hotel room. You can tell I have a green screen from Amazon so I can block out the virtual. This is a virtual background. And I also have to smear because I got to do what I got to do to get your job, right? So there's timestamp in every single thing. If you click on show, look at all the timestamp, okay? Tell me about the time when you have to deal with underperforming employees. There's a lot of questions and answers. Look at this. How should I expect my first 30 days at Amazon? There's examples to a lot of meat in here, guys. A lot, okay? There's also a lot of people who got Amazon. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's a lot of people who landed Amazon job offer, and I ain't kidding with you, okay? So there's so many of that. Please, guys, I'm begging you. This is just the one playlist, but on top of all of that, I've actually put in the initiative. It's right here. This is an entire playlist. I'm just clicking the link right here. If you look at this, how to answer Amazon leadership principle, okay? What is the most innovative thing? And there's a template in there. Career failure, yes, there's a template in there for you. How to solve problem with limited data. You guys read it, right? These are all actual example where I hold your hand. On top of that, guys, there are so much more in here. So much more. So much. For free. By the way, for free. Please do not waste your money and pay anyone to give you an example of the story, or what is that word called? God, what is it? Synchronized mock interview. God, what is it called? I can't remember what it's called. People are actually charging, like $5,000 where I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. What I just did in reviewing your story is practically mock and reverse interview and telling you how to make your story correctly. They don't even do that. It's basically having, robots talking to each other to critique in being role play and interview, and they're charging you thousands of dollars and hundreds of dollars for that stuff. Please stop. This is free. Again, don't be lazy. If you guys don't have time to watch this, you feel like you want to pay someone thousands of dollars so that they can teach you things that's not even this informative, you go ahead and do that. But I know you got bills to pay. Diana just mentioned that her baby girl just woke up. You're a mom. I know kids are really expensive. Save your money. It is free. Free, guys. Free, people. Free. Okay, you don't even have to sign up for anything. It's free. It's right here. On top of all of that, this is the most recent video for leadership principle number 15 and 16. And guess what, guys? Yes, there's a template in there as well. Okay? Do not skip content. Do not. If you don't understand what those leadership principle is, if you don't know the expectation for that specific LP, you're not going to be able to create your story that makes sense. Kabish? All right, I'm done. I'm done yelling now. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I blocked my own face. Hang on. Sorry. This whole time, you see, you guys don't want to see me yelling. That's why I had to block myself up. So the bottom line is this playlist, again, it's free. You guys can tell, right? All of these, guys, it took me at least a year to make. At least a year. And if you're going to complain about my videos being too long, guess what? I also spent extra. If the timestamp say 146 minute, assume that I spent an extra at least 2 hours going in there to put timestamp for you. So if you think that you don't have the time to spend, that's telling me you don't want the job bad enough, because you have a coach, me, your virtual coach, who's putting in all this effort. I'm the only YouTuber that has this. The only one who actually pour my heart out to you and put down every single one of these examples. Guess what, guys? The real life scenario from my experience. And no one does that. No one. Okay? So I don't want to hear any excuses. I'm not even apologizing for yelling at my audience, because I read so many of your LinkedIn messages. Everyone is lost and confused, but you guys don't listen. Hence why 90% of my VIP coaching have failed their interviews so many times. And when I ask them, have you seen this playlist? No. And guess what? The 3,500 people who landed the Amazon job, this is exactly what they did. They watch every single one of my video, and everyone tells me this is the playlist that got them the job at Amazon, Google, Facebook, Apple, PayPal, Oracle, KPMG. I can go on and on and on. Do you hear what I'm saying? Let me know if what I just said makes sense to you. Okay? Don't miss out on all of this. Every single thing has its purpose, and there's a reason why I created this playlist, to save you time so you know exactly where the playlist is. All right? Now let's go back. I'm done yelling at my audience. Did you like that? Did you like what I just showed you? If you do, please say yes. I'm not going to waste my voice again. I have to do it because you all don't listen. There will come a time where I have to be very raw and authentic with you, because if I don't speak to you the way that I do, no one else is going to. You think the interviewer is going to be raw with you and give you direct feedback? No, because a recruiter can't even give you the feedback. I just review some of your story and I will know exactly where you fell. You can hear it, yeah? You can hear it from my tone. You can hear it from my feedback, which means clarity. Be very, very specific in your example. Who really are you trying to help? Because if you don't mention who you're trying to help, at least the industry, it doesn't make sense to the story. And how you're able to do that instead of telling me all this folks that you're partnering with in different teams. But what is your initiative? What's your roadmap? How did you add results? What do you bring on the table? You got nothing to bring on the table, and that is why you can't make it through the offer stage. Okay? I'm not saying this just for Amazon. I'm saying this for every single company. It's the same thing. The reason why people don't get a job, it's their ability to work hard. I just showed you a playlist for free. I just showed it to you. So unless you all have done the work and come back to me and say, Holly, I've done the best that I can, then we can have a different conversation. But until then, If I were to help you, that is the best way that I can help you for free. My throat is scratching from yelling so loudly. You know what? The funny thing is, I've had many coaches in my life. I have 8 different coaches. I have a couple YouTube coaches, so I know how to have this look. I love my YouTube coaches. Truly, Eat Sleep Coach. I have a live streaming coach. I have a master career coach who teaches me how to train. But in the end, I have to mold against my personality because I want to attract the people who would appreciate how I am. So when you guys are interviewing in front of the employer, you are all forgetting that you're also interviewing the employer, right? So many of you guys, I don't even have to see you or hear how you practice your mock interview. Yeah, you practicing, right? Because you're very tense. No one wants to hire someone when they're tense. Okay? So don't forget to be real. Don't forget to add personality and just simply be yourself and have fun. If you're not having fun, the employer are not really going to like it because let me tell you this. They're not going to tell you, but I am. They wanted to imagine if they can actually hang out with you. If people can't hang out with you, why are they hiring you? Okay? Eventually you're going to go back in the office again. It's going to happen, okay? There is a lot of companies going remote, but Amazon is not going to go remote 100%. I can kind of understand that because Amazon is moving so quickly. The physical interaction is really needed. And I think building the team morale and just having so much launches. Literally, if you're an engineer, you can code and go live in 2 weeks. That's the reality of a new tool. That's how fast they are. So I think having the remote environment doesn't necessarily work for all of it. So there will come a time if your intent is to work for Amazon, you're going to have to go back in the physical office at least part time. Okay? All right. Hi, Dev. Dev says, does it really matter if you have worked with the same company for 10 plus years 10 years in different years? No. Does it really matter if you worked with the same company? No, it doesn't. I've had clients who work for the same company for 20 years. It's about why, and if I am the interviewer, I would simply just ask, why did you stay along? Stay along. Why? You see that? English is my 4th language. And when you make a mistake, poke fun of yourself like what I just did. I would simply just say, what kept your loyalty so long with the same employer for 10 plus years? You better have an answer to that, right? And they wanted to see your career growth. They don't want to see a resume with someone with the same position title for 10 years and not move around. That means you're just settling. You probably don't have the bias for action. I apologize if that come off as a little bit raw. That's the truth, right? There's a lot of you guys who's actually coming to me for help who are also interviewer. So if you're going to be with the same job for all that long, just talk about your great impact, which is why in the Women in Tech talk that I've done, I am going to actually take my talk and post it. It's not going to happen in the upcoming week or two because I'm a little slammed right now and I'm on my way to another conference next week. So a lot of that stuff is in the work. But you have to be very, very concise in how you deliver result that's relevant to the environment. I'm not saying the exact experience, right? You don't need to have the experience, but you need to have the bias for action to be on your feet and think quick. Tatiana says, by the time the company was deploying a CRM, I did some research. Okay. As a result, okay, this is the same one. Okay, I've answered that. Just making sure. Alrighty. Cody. Hello, Cody. Long time. Cody says, I just wanted to let you know. Oh, you landed 2 offers. Yay! Yes, Cody. Yes, you make me proud. Yes. Thank you so much for sharing. You landed 2 offers this past week in operation support roles. All of your content has been very helpful and informative. Thank you so much for sharing. Actually, a lot of my original YouTube supporter who's been with me for a couple of months and who have attended these live session have all landed job offer. If you watch any of my replay in live stream, you'll recognize the names such as Hungry for Employment, who landed a job, Bear in the Wild, who landed a job, Red Riding Hood, who's a PM at Google. So a lot of these folks, and the list goes on, have landed a job offer just by showing up. When you show up, you want to make sure that you have your story ready in advance. Take advantage of me. I also review your stories, okay? It's not going to break a bank, I promise you. I know that there's a time difference depending on what part of the world that you're from. It's really, really hard for me to even have the 9:30 a.m., but I have a lot of folks internationally from EMEA, from Europe, from Ireland, from the UK, from Poland. So there's a lot of folks from Europe, and that's why I'm doing this at 9:30 a.m. And as far as like the rest of you folks from Asia, thank you so much. I know it's really late for all of you, especially in Australia, which is right across the water from Asia, which means your time zone are very similar. If I can, in the perfect world, guys, all I want to do is live stream and coach 5 days a week, every single day. I can't do it because I won't be able to keep up with putting in timestamp for you and making my stream pretty for you because it is a lot of work and effort. Okay? It may be different if I'm not a mom and a single mom, but I am. And this is really a hobby. The YouTube channel is really a hobby that I did for fun. And who would think that this turned out to be a business? But this shows you that when you guys are listening to me, you can feel my vibe and my passion. So when you're interviewing, I want you to portray to the interviewer that this is exactly who and what they're getting. Okay? So don't be afraid. The sky is a limit, guys. Okay? The sky is truly a limit. Don't be afraid to be yourself. In summary of today's live stream, go up to the very top 15 minutes. I talked about what happens if you're very anxious in your interview. You go through a brain freeze, brain freeze, and you're just unable to answer the interview questions. Kindly just pause, take a deep breath, and pick out your best answer. Guys and gals, if you don't spend at the bare minimum 3 months, I can't talk. Lord, help me, please. You see that? When you make a mistake, simply poke fun of yourself and continue, right? Simply just continue. This is real. This is authentic. I'm not going to cut this part or fix it because it makes me who I am. What makes you who you are? Be comfortable in your own skin. Your environment, I have my coffee or tea and then my water bottle next to me. I also have candle that calms me down. So build an environment where you're truly virtual interview ready. What did we learn today? We learned that unless you have your stories ready, you do not want to take that interview. If they're not able to help you push your interview a month out or so, just cancel the damn thing. Because, my friend, Amazon ain't going anywhere. They're not going anywhere. Don't just wait for one employer. See what else is out there and interview with other company. If anything, you're going to gain the knowledge, experience of interviewing. And who knows, you may fall in love with the other employers. One day, all of you guys are going to work for Amazon. All of you, because it happens to a lot of my members. Okay? I just mentioned that a lot of my original supporter for my YouTube channel all resulted in job offer. And I can't wait for you to come back to tell me that you too have landed your FAANG offer. Until next time.